Hello, I'm APX Toycat, and welcome back to another live stream on the internet. Today, I'm playing Minecraft, and in Minecraft, I'm gonna be destroying a desert. Wow, the title of the video relates to something in the video. I'm shocked. This is not the YouTube I know, this is not the YouTube I love, but it is the YouTube I exist in. Anyway, yeah, with that said, today, I got a something, and it might be really important. Or maybe it's not important. You don't know for sure. So, in case you're curious, today, let me tell you a really dumb story that led into why this stream is... Actually, why this stream should be late, but I decided, let's not make it, like, rather than go beyond 8:30 and, like, make things late, I figured, let's do the stream at 8:30 anyway. I guess 8:35. Honestly, we're only 5 minutes late today, which is basically early, if you consider what it usually is. Which is terrible that you can say that, but you know what? It's terrible if you can't say things more if you really think about it. Anyway, so I ordered some Chinese food a couple of hours ago. I wasn't really even hungry for Chinese food. I was just like, you know what? It takes like an hour. I don't know why. Chinese is like, in my experience, is the slowest of the foods to arrive. You can order McDonald's. They're in 20 minutes before you finish recording your video. You order Subway, 25 minutes. Order like pizza. Wow, half an hour later it's at your door. I feel like Chinese, you order it and then like, who knows if it arrives. Like maybe they've just got some bad Chinese places in my area. But I figured, it's 6. Gonna order some Chinese, then I'll have plenty of time before my stream at 8:30. And I don't know, 2 hours passed and then nothing. And I called up and they it's really confusing when like the place was like, so yeah, sorry, can you tell me about your order? Like it's been a couple of hours, but I'm confused. And it's like, yeah, so this is the order. And they're like, yeah, I can, I see it, but like, can you tell me what it is again? It's like, I see you've paid for it, but can you, and it's like, can't you just admit you didn't do it? You're either really late behind, or you just missed some orders. Like, which is the case, like one of those is pretty damning. I know, like, I think they've probably worked out that it's better to like, there are some mild lies in society we tell ourselves, because it's so much less stressful than the truth. Also, thank you so much, Mediterranean. Mediterranean, that's your name now. Also, Jackie Ann, just before the stream, bought a couple of pieces of Christmas merch, which is beautiful. February is the time to get your Christmas merch. Some people say, no, Christmas is the time for Christmas merch. No, Christmas merch is when other people sell that. No, what we do here is we sell Christmas merch only throughout the non-Christmassy months. November comes rolling around, and the Christmas merch is going off sale. Don't you dare wear seasonally correct merch over here. Anyway, so, with that said, I love how everyone's just saying the time, like, you know what? You're saying you ordered food at 6, but it's not even 6 PM, Toycat. I found the hole in your story. Yeah, I've been having a whole experience where, like, basically, there's some food that I'm kind of glad is being delayed because I wasn't even really hungry in the first place. I was just like, I probably will be hungry, and I'll appreciate when I'm hungry having this food. Toycat's such a contrarian, he celebrates Christmas in the summer anyway. I think, like, personally, I'm not someone who is some people, we spoke about seasonal depression last time. Also, Caitlin Smith, it's good to see you again. Thank you very much for the tip, and I'm glad you caught the start of the stream too. I hope you catch the rest of it as well. Or do I? That's the question you should ask yourself every morning as you look yourself in the mirror. But, actually, wait, looking yourself in the mirror, let me talk about something exciting that is this is not exciting to anyone else, but like this is a sign you're becoming an old man with old man interests. But I bought new light bulbs yesterday, and I was shocked that they arrived. We're always talking about how like good and efficient Amazon is, but you never like put it together with like, I ordered light bulbs at midnight last night after the stream, and they arrived this morning. Like, how is that possible? How, it used to be great ordering things online because by the time it arrived, it would be a shock. You forgot who got it. Now it's like, it's just there before you remember that it exists. Also, good morning, Slickat. Have you seen the new Minecraft mod that turns everything into a time bomb? I have not seen. Most Minecraft mods, air quotes, are like Java things, and it's like, that's not fun. And the most Minecraft Bedrock mods are add-ons that are like, this is terrible in every way, and it's only being played because it works for YouTube titles. But I would love to know what time bombs means. That sounds like a lot of fun. I don't know what it means, but I would love to know. Anyway, I was really, really, really excited for light bulbs. I was like, no, I was really, really excited by putting them in because my old light bulb, I didn't even notice until I got back. You know, I was gone for 3 months in America. Don't know if I've told you guys about that. But I was in America, and when I came back, I just noticed all the lights were dim, and it's like, oh, the lights have gone dimmer over the last 5 years I've lived here, and I just haven't noticed. So I put in a new light bulb, and I was like, this is amazing. There's so much light. It's blinding me, but everything looked like, you know, looks kind of nice. And so I bought 6 new light bulbs this morning. I've been trying for weeks now to buy light bulbs. That sounds ridiculous, but you know what? Welcome to my life. I can't do basic tasks like buying light bulbs, because how do you know what socket you have? Anyway, so I bought some light bulbs. The Mandatorian is a bounty hunter that has to eliminate everyone he's asked to. It's not optional. Oh, the Mandatorian. I get it. I get it. 10 out of 10. High quality. I need to check what this is. This is... Oh, it's my doorbell. Oh, that's something important that I should deal with, huh? Wait, did you see me? Yeah, you probably didn't see me. Food? Yeah. Heck yeah. Give me some chicken balls. I want to make a point about... Okay, wait, they give us spring rolls. Yeah, I think when they say pancake rolls, they mean spring rolls. Like, based on Googling it, I think that's what that is. Okay. Just put it on the oven then. I'll deal with it later. Maybe... They're like circular balls of chicken.
This is the closest thing I think.
Yeah, these are chicken. Oh, actually. Yeah, well, they are. There are also spring rolls in here, right?
Is there tofu or no?
Is there tofu?
I got sweet and sour tofu. It looks like sweet and sour tofu.
No. It's not. Okay. Hello, Internet. With that said, so anyway, I put in new light bulbs, and like everything looks entirely different under new light. Like you don't really know the value, the craziness that like light brings until you see your own house through new light. It's like my bathroom looks amazing right now. I'm like, you know, I've mentioned this on previous streams. I think a good shower is like 50% of being a happy human being. You know, like we don't appreciate it because we all have things up to our own standards. But wait till you try a nicer shower than yours, and you're like, oh yeah, life just feels better. This is the best 20 minutes of the day. Anyway, I ordered slippers that are also cleaning cloth, and it's the most exciting thing ever. Can't wait to not have dirty floors anymore. When you need to when you need to change them really regularly, like I don't think that's gonna work if I'm being honest with you, Leanne. Anyway, my point here is that I realized the value of lighting because I also you know today's been like a big light bulb moment. For today's been a big light bulb moment for the power of lighting. Like 20-minute shower. Are you not taking 20-minute showers? I think I know where your life sucks. I mean, I'm just assuming your life sucks. If it doesn't suck, then sorry. Actually, no, if it does suck, I'm sorry. If it doesn't suck, I don't have to apologize. You only have to apologize when you offend people when it's true. That's the facts. That's how it works. Anyway, so I looked around a house that before it had any pictures uploaded because they hadn't done it yet or whatever. Like the estate agent called me and was like, yeah, we just got this house. You can be the first in or whatever. And I don't know if I believe that I was the first in, but I saw it but like in person before online. It looked so bad, and then I saw it online and it's like, wow, this is nice, you know, like it's not, obviously it doesn't change the space, but everything just looks better under good lighting. And I realize I also got them for my housemate so we can match. That if I had a housemate get me that would be the most passive aggressive thing in the world. Like I got house shoes so we can clean as we walk. Hint hint. I know how hard it is for us to clean otherwise. We just don't clean unless they're in our shoes, so I bought us shoes. Ha 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 ha. Am I right? Ha ha. Anyway, so I realized the power of lighting today in like so many different contexts. And like it's one of those things that like, again, when I first started YouTube, even though like, you know, I guess you're putting on some form of production, I used to hate the idea that lighting was important. It's like, no, lighting's important to photographers and stuff, but it's not important to like people. But no, lighting makes such a huge difference. Do you want me to show you what it looks like without my lighting on? Like, I got a front-facing light here. Look how much uglier I immediately get Look how much uglier the background. Like, you can see all the tiny little imperfections in my face. You can see, you know, the different... It's awful right now. My hair is green very slightly, but we'll ignore that. You know, no one wants this, right? What you want is you want beautiful Toycat being stared into by a light. Basically, yeah, light is like really important, and you don't think about it a lot. But I think you know, like to tell a story here real quick. One sec, I'm gonna quickly just crab walk away, shut the door, and then we'll crab walk back in. Yeah, I think one of the like less like cause okay, so there's this Reddit where there's always there's this like cosplaying person who's always at the top of the Reddit. We're not gonna dive into the details of this. And I remember thinking like once like, oh, they have amazing lighting. And then I realized, you know, they're probably like, you know, pretty normal as a person. But like, you know, lighting is what makes you go from a normal person that looks kind of good to like. Also, did we pick up both those things? I guess we did. Also, light is great, but why is it called dark and not heavy? You know what? 10 out of 10 comment, James Bay. You're right, it should... The opposite of light should be heavy. Why do we call it dark? Now, I'm glad... Honestly, sometimes I'm glad that we have words that mean the same thing, because they make pun writing really easy. Like, English is a language people like for poetry and writing and stuff, because it's existed so long, it has so many double meanings, and every double meaning makes you go, ooh, this sure is nice. The photographer agrees, says Cat Beanie. See, you're right. You are you literally. This is not living. I don't know the word. This is your wheelhouse. There we go. I found the wording for it. This is your wheelhouse, and you can agree. Like, wow, yeah. As it turns out, lighting is the difference between average and amazing, or really bad and average. Like, it won't take you from really bad to amazing, but it will take you from. Also, oh, we got. Mr. Mini Toycat. I am, thank you so much. I was gonna talk my mouth full. Then I realized it's rude to talk your mouth full. And now I'm talking my mouth full, but I'm like angling down so you can't see the food. Tell me if I'm wrong, right? The only reason it's rude to talk your mouth full is because people see food, right? It's not because of the noises you make. So good. Actually, chat, do you think it's about the noises too? Do you think I should be silent while I'm eating? What are the rules of engagement here? I mean, honestly, this is my stream. I could argue, you know, I'll eat and talk if I want to. It's your decision to watch or not watch. But I'm not going to argue that. But I could argue that. I just want you to know, you know. Anyway, so, I hate those darn noises. Stop. Totally the noises. People definitely have food aversion, including the sound. I don't understand how you can have food aversion and be, like, alive. Isn't food one of the, like, requirements for life? I could be wrong. I think not eating with your mouth full is just a random societal rule. I think a lot of random societal rules have meanings that are too hard to convey with the rule itself. So, like, they're hard to explain by themselves. So we make the rule as a way to be like, yeah, this is much easier. The lip smacking malls, don't mention the weird talking. Toycat, here is your tax. Oh wait, sorry, do you consider yourself a pro YouTuber who makes Minecraft content, or a pro Minecrafter who makes YouTube videos? I would probably say the first one. I think to consider, like, even though I'm technically a both, you know, I'm professional at both, I'm technically paid to do both. The YouTube side of things is definitely more the... I don't know what the word would be for this, but, like, I think... First of all, I think saying that I'm pro Minecraft, like, you know, I'm not the greatest player. Am I in the top 10%? Who knows for sure? Let's assume so. I think in terms of actual, like, people underestimate their percentage. I'm probably a bit higher than that, like, top something percent. But, like, if I tried to be like that, people are like, oh, you suck, and that's your whole judgment. Whereas, like, as far as YouTube, it's like, if you don't like my YouTube stuff, that's cool. You don't need to like it. I'm just here doing my own thing. Whereas, like, if you don't like my, you know, like, when it comes to things like athletics or Minecraft speedrunning, you're objectively good or bad, right? Or even if you're interesting at it, it's still a whole different ballpark. Also, Toycat, here's your tax. Thank you, Jade Nogden, and thank you, Mother Russia, for the £2 tip. I wonder what Lena Rain will compose for the next update. How can you top Pig Step? I wonder if they'll use Lena Rain again, or if they'll get a different composer too. I think that like they won't have a new disc for the update, just because like, you know, it's not gonna work. But I think they won't top Pig Step, but I think we'll get some good cave music. Also, just bought a just bought a t-shirt from the IBX Toy Cat. I'm glad I don't have to deal with Queen's Season anymore. I'm not even signed into my YouTube account. It says Tusk Jesus Freak. Thank you so much for buying yourself a little t-shirt. I like that we have two merch purchases in a day. That is significantly more than normal. That is a thing to be happy about. I'm not suitably attired. You may proceed. I just think that let me put it this way. I think that I think trying to call yourself good at something where like you're not the very best is always going to lead to like people trying to tear you down. Whereas like try to tear me down as a YouTuber. Am I not as good as, you know, who's the biggest YouTuber? I guess PewDiePie is the biggest individual YouTuber. Am I not as good as like the Vivo for Justin Bieber? I think there might be a similarly subscribed YouTube channel, or like Viva. You know, like no one's like no. I like the idea of being involved in a field where like I can make it competitive if I want to. Like, hey, I'm at 1.64 million subscribers. I'd love to have 2 million. That'd be nice. I have more subscribers than many of my old friends from the console days who either gave up or like fell off the horse or something. I don't take pride in it, but like I take pride in the fact that like I survived, I guess. Not that I'm doing better, but like it's nice, right? I like when I hate someone actually. There's a guy who DDoSed me a few years ago. Like got really petty because he kept stealing my stuff. He had this, the craziest thing is he had this like justification of like, I need to build a community, and so I'm gonna steal your videos because it's the only way it can be done. I mean, your videos get more views than mine, so I have to steal them. It's the only way to correct the unfairness that is that. Like, he was a pretty crazy guy. I think he's probably mellowed out since then. Yeah, there was this guy who had that opinion, and like knowing that I'm doing better than him today, that feels good. Just like as a spite version of doing well. Honestly, isn't that why most people like? Everyone has the dream situation where you go to a high school reunion, which don't exist in the UK, but like, you know, we can pretend that that's not, and being like, yeah, you know, you were mean to me once, and oh, turns out now you're dying of an incurable cancer. Feels good to be me, huh? You know, we joked about that a little bit. I mean, I say joked because, I mean, of course I have to. But we joked about that a little bit. Also, Frosty the Panda, thank you so much. That is a fun reference. Your name, I mean, by that. It has been a while since I've heard that. My voice literally dies when I try to do Frosty the Panda voice, so, you know, feel good. Or maybe don't feel good. You just need to get on the horse and go before it despawns. I meant to say I'm now suitably attired. I am not suitably attired. That's why I was so worried when I got up earlier without thinking about it. Like, okay, please no one notice. Please no one notice. Did you hear that the Irish Passport Office is shut because of COVID, so you'll be waiting a lot longer? See, now, that just gives me more of an excuse to sit on it for a while. Like, you know, that's fine with me. That's fine with me. Again, like, it's not like I'm going to be using a new passport anytime too soon. Anyway, so, it's all going to be fine. Cheerios or Honey Nut Cheerios. Honestly, Cheerios are such a bad cereal. I don't eat them. You offer me Cheerios, it's cool. I'm not eating. Like, they're such a garbage tier cereal. I don't know why people pretend to like them. You're doing something wrong. Like, Honey Nut Cornflakes. Also, it's good. Hello, Spirit Demolisher. A onesie does count, cat. And Lexi HG. An American accent won't kill my voice. You're right, I can do an American accent all I like. This isn't even American. This is more from the South. But if you think about it, all Americans are from the South if you measure relative to Canada. I mean, there are parts of Canada that are further south than parts of America. But people don't think of Vermont when they think of America. America. I love America. I fly there many times. Yeah, the American accent caused lag. Today we learned. Anyway, so, yeah, am I still uploading? I probably shouldn't be if I am. Okay, no, we finished the upload. I'm like, just about finished on a Minecraft 100-day thing, which, like, I'm regretting doing it as I'm here now. I'm like, Was that a good 16 hours, 17 hours worth of footage spent? Probably not. But, like, I like the video, but, like, you know, should I have just spent, you know, 6 hours making 3 different videos, or, you know, 1.7 hours on 10 different videos? We'll never know for sure what the correct solution is. Anyway, so, I just finished working on a big video, and it's, like, almost 100 gigabytes in files. And I didn't realize how much I value good internet, and I'm like, oh, yeah. Big files are one of the few things that are still slow to upload, huh? Anyway, I think he's actually American. He's putting on the British accent. Yeah, remember I said yesterday how people see British people as being smart for, like, weird stereotype reasons? And I'm so glad about that. I decided to enjoy it. Also, thank you, Eric Smith, for the $4.99 tip. Have you considered using a sand duplicator at the end portal? I don't. I think duplication is cheating. This spring roll tastes like nothing. Honestly, I used to love spring rolls until I realized they all taste like nothing. Like, I got a tub of sweet and sour sauce this big. This is so much sweet and sour juice. They know that they taste bad. They give you sauce to make it not taste bad. Oh, I just poured some on my lap. But my point here. Okay, we got this. We got this. Oh, is it gonna come off? It's gonna come off. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's good. Let's... Toy Cat Eats, the live stream. Isn't it, like... It looks almost like jelly, right? It doesn't look like sweet and sour sauce to me. I never liked sweet and sour. First of all, it's not sweet and sour. It's, like, vinegary and sweet. Or vinegary and, like... Vinegary and tangy. I'm convinced 90% of why sweet and sour sauce is so popular is because it has a cool name. But the name is a lie. Don't let anyone trust you. I mean, wait, don't trust anyone who insists that it's not. Learning that sweet and sour sauce is made of ketchup ruined it for me.
Cat, got any idea how to prevent magma cube spawns in nether fortresses? Right now, they're even spawning in between slabs and carpets. They're killing my wither skeleton skull farm rates.
Okay, you know, I actually don't know how you'd stop that. Like, I assume the size, but obviously there's the mini magma cubes. Lighting, maybe? I don't even think that, though, right? I think you're just screwed. I think you just got bedrocked, Mr. William Minerva. Also, hello from Canada, Mr. Nerd Waffle. Thank you so much for becoming a support cat. Welcome to the club. Wait, member girl on screen. Yeah, welcome to the club. But sweet and sour sauce. The sauce is a lie. Exactly, the sauce is a lie. It's all just made up, and you know it does. I just don't understand how, like, this became a common popular thing. I honestly, okay, you know, here's my... Toy Cat puts on his conspiracy hat for a minute. I think that most, like, popular things from other cultures are things that just mirror things from our culture, but you get to, like, feel like you're being fancy about it. Like, ooh, you know, sweet and sour sauce is this crazy, you know, Chinese thing. And, like, if it's made from ketchup, then no, it's not, right? It's actually not a crazy foreign thing. Like, oh yeah, it's, let me tell you about this absolutely crazy thing. There's this thing, it's called, the Big Mac secret sauce. And it's like, it's Thousand Island dressing, and most of that is, is it made from ketchup or mayonnaise as a base? It's made from one of those two. It's like incredibly basic to make. But it tastes amazing, because it's like similar to what you know, but just a tiny bit different. I just joined you talking about sweet and sour sauce. I'm staying to hear more. Hey, thank you, Joseph Griffiths. You know, that's what we do here. We mine sand from deserts, and we talk about sweet and sour sauce. If there was more I was meant to do, then I don't know about it, and I don't intend to, because this is important, damn it. Sweet and sour sauce is my favorite sauce. No, it's not. You've been lied to, Jackie Ann. I hate to break it to you. I hate to. You think that it is, but that's just because you don't know the truth. You just don't know. And maybe that's better for us all. Also, thank you, Frag Spartan, for becoming a channel member. Member 660, according to that number. That number, like, you know, I believe that that's correct. We have to update it every few days ourselves, because some people unmember, etc., etc. But yeah, it's exciting. Anyway, in Canada, you would get plum sauce or spring rolls. Silica informed me the UK doesn't have that. There was a thing that came with plum sauce I saw, but I would never order it because plum sauce sounds terrible. You know, see, here's the thing. Trying new things okay, contribution to your jet ski fund. Thank you so much, Elisa Stubblefield. That is a very old reference, but it checks out. Thank you. Been a while since I've heard anything along those lines. Anyway, so I think that I think like one of the biggest struggles is like trying new food is like what a lot of people want to do. I mean, if you don't want to try new food, are you eating food correctly? But the thing is like, how do you know what food you're gonna like from an entirely foreign list of things? For instance, you know, when I see like, I walked around Hong Kong once, just like trying to eat something really new without looking into it. Like, I don't want to look anything up. I was just like, I'm gonna find some weird local place, and I'm just gonna buy something that sounds weird. But then it's like, am I gonna like, you know, like octopus in a mussel sauce? Not mussel. I'm making up words. Like I know, like like there was like so many weird things where it's like, I don't know what any of this could be. Should I just take the dice roll on it? Is that actually fun? And I think the answer is probably like, yeah, that's meant to be fun. It just kind of isn't. By the way, chat, if you live outside of the UK, are chicken balls a common thing? Like, this is basically just a chicken nugget, right? It's just chicken, and then surrounded by batter. I find it delicious. I love these things. I've had them since childhood. But I realized, like, you know what? Why is that? How is that even Chinese? That's just chicken nuggets, right? I'm just eating chicken nuggets. And like that was when that was the thing that made me realize, like, yeah, I see it's like a Chinese staple. Like every time I ask some of my British friends, like, yeah, I get the chicken balls, they're amazing. But then you realize, like, that can't be. Also, they are common in Canada, but not the US, based on what I'm seeing in chat. Also, if you're hungry now, you know, there's still time in your Saturday to get food. Unless you live somewhere where there's not time in your Saturday to get food. In which case, aren't you being skinny? I'm proud of you. But, yeah, it's like chicken nuggets, but battered instead of breaded. Oh, yeah, that's the difference, battered, yeah. I mean, chicken nuggets are like, I guess they are breaded, aren't they? You know, I don't think about it too often. So I can't talk about balls. It's my favorite thing to discuss. Thank you very much.
That's the problem with condiment conspiracy theories. Finding reliable sauces is difficult. Champagne bottle, champagne bottle, champagne bottle.
You know, one sec. Jeff Watkins, comment of the day. Comment of the day. That is, I don't think anyone's beaten that today. I think we've found the peak right there. I think we found the absolute pinnacle. I think we should give up. Everyone, let's pack it up. Let's go home. We're not beating that, I'm afraid. They're just, we found our peak. Anyway, so you know what? I'm a fan. I'm a big fan. Anyway, so do they have ketchup crisps in the UK? Says Nerd Waffle. They're not as common. I know the I tried so one of my I met a Canadian in oh, interesting. I met a Canadian in I want to say the one that's pronounced funny. Newfoundland. I met a Canadian in Newfoundland who's like, let me get you some ketchup crisps, eh? This is my voice. I'm slightly Indian because Toycat can't do a Canadian accent, eh? So like he insisted I try some. He might have even bought them for me. You know, I don't know if he did, but he was very nice either way. He bought me a drink if he didn't buy me a packet of ketchup crisps. And this guy was like, his name was Greg. You know, I've never spoken to him ever again, and isn't that beautiful? I think that's beautiful. That's the ideal relationship. Anyway, I clicked on a video to watch, and then I just saw an advert for a webcomic of a guy and his stepmom. What are these YouTube ads? I mean, what I learned from all of this, like, stuff is that there's a lot of tension out there between people and their step-relatives that they secretly just want to exploit. Anyway, yes, the Canadian was nice. Exactly, no one expects Canadians to be nice. It's such a shock when it turns out to be true. But no, he was super nice. He was a wonderful guy. But he made me try ketchup crisps, and I thought, like, oh, this is so good. Like, Ruffles with ketchup flavoring, delicious. And then I realized, like, wait a minute, we do have ketchup flavored things. It's just, like, this is a slightly different, like, ketchup flavor to what I'm used to. Because ketchup flavor isn't flavored like ketchup. Hate to break it to you. Same way, like, I love Marmite flavored things, but I hate Marmite. Like, it's black pain liquid by itself, but like put that on some Twiglets. Oh, yeah, well, now we're talking. Is this the food stream? I think this has become the food stream. You know what? It's worthwhile. We're gonna stick with it. We're gonna stick with it. Anyway, so my Chinese food arrived 2.5 hours after ordering, and I wonder if there's a certain point after ordering where they're like, aha, what we're gonna do is we're gonna deliberately like hold it back, and that way you can be seen to like be fixing it by being like, oh, there was some error. You know, there was nothing we could have done about it. Whereas if food's just an hour late, you're gonna be like, wow, they suck. I'm not ordering from a place that took an hour to get it here. But if you feel like, oh yeah, I should have called up earlier, like getting people to blame themselves for one of your problems is like probably an unethical but like really useful pro tip to survive in life. Like if I think at the very least putting up a question, making people like doubt themselves. This is the whole thing behind gaslighting people, right? But like if people aren't sure if it's your fault or their fault, they can't hate you for it. Life pro tip. Not a very good life pro tip. It's kind of like, you know, have you considered being a dick more often? But, you know, have you? If you haven't, you can't say it's a bad thing. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna keep on filling up. I need to like start putting the stone and stuff somewhere. I might need like a whole separate shulker box for this stuff because it's really starting to build up. But we'll deal with that later. It's fine. What do you think about boarding schools? Says Richard Roxburgh. Honestly, boarding schools seem kind of ideal as a parent, right? Like, send your child off somewhere half of the year. Heck yeah. Like, honestly, I was so anti-children until I learned about boarding schools and, like, I think it's called an au pair. Life tip, gaslight people. I don't know about that one. I'm gonna stop eating Chinese food. I'm gonna save that till later. Also, I live in Canada and I hate ketchup crisps. It says JZMC. You know what? You're missing out on a good flavor. Like, it's not the best flavor. Honestly, that's the thing about any good flavor gets exaggerated with its goodness. It's just like, this is another flavor. Like, there's no flavor of crisps where I'm like, I would stake my national pride on this. Like, salt and vinegar is a tasty flavor. But I'm not like, yeah, if you don't have this, your country sucks. Also, thanks so much, Jade Linear. I know you don't personally use farms often, but if you have ever made a raid farm, figure out what to do with the Vex. I lost 20 shulker boxes and never gear. Are you saying because you didn't think about the Vex parts of it and then you got destroyed? You know what? Put it in a boat. That's what you're meant to do with Vexes. They stay in boats until later. Also, do you dip stuff in mayo in the UK? I think it's nasty, but I've seen people do it who are not from America. So, I had a friend in college who dipped stuff in mayo, and he was like... Actually, no, I had 2 friends. I had quite a few friends. It might have been 3. So, you know, everyone I knew... For some reason, I had a group of friends in college. We always went to Burger King. I don't know why, but we are a Burger King group of friends. I didn't even like Burger King. It was just like the least bad option that had like seating, because like you can't sit down at a Subway, you know? Like you can, but you can't. Anyway, so we went to Burger King and they all would dip their fries in mayo, and I was like, I haven't done this before. But then I did it, and like, yeah, no, that's like the best condiment. If you're gonna be dipping. Yeah, if you're gonna be dipping fries in something, mayo is the way to go. Like, it's maybe our mayo is different, and that's why it's so bizarre, you know, to you. Or maybe you're just uncultured and you haven't tried the correct way of dipping your fries. I don't know which way it is for sure. I don't know which way it is for sure, but dip fries mayo. Yes, fries and mayo is nice. So stereotypically, it's a continental thing. Like oh yeah, the people over in mainland Europe do it. I imagine like the UK is divided down the middle somewhere about where we do it. I bet you can find a point like somewhere north of London where like fries and mayo becomes popular again. But I'm at with my Toycat Tax, says Toycat Tax. Hey, thank you, Mr. Canadian Toycat Tax man. I love that you named your whole account Toycat Tax. That is commitment. Mayo is great. Put it in mashed potatoes, says Cat Beanie. Mayo and mashed potatoes. It actually does sound good, but it sounds like the sort of thing I'd get mocked for if I did myself. So I'm gonna not, but I do want to. Also, all sauce is gross except anime sauce, says Freaky Frank 1019. You know what? Never heard truer words than that. All sauce is gross except for anime sauce. Have you ever mixed your ketchup and mayo, says Paper Towels? Yeah, I used to do that as well as a kid. I think we called it seafood sauce, which doesn't make any sense. I think that was just my mother being illiterate and you know, the cool thing about children is you can just tell them wrong facts to make yourself look smart. You can just be like, "Oh, are you sure that's what it's called?" "Yeah, pretty sure." You know, and like before the internet, like I imagine now it must suck because like you tell your children something and they're like, "That doesn't sound true. I'm gonna Google that," and then they confirm like, "Oh, looks like mummy's a liar." Actually, I don't know if children are that smart. Maybe not all children even care about the truth. They're just like, you know, like trying to annoy their parents with questions. Anyway, so to finish up the boarding school answer, ever since I learned about again, it's called an au pair. Like it's like a you know, like a thing that looks after your children for you. It's like do that and then send it to boarding school the rest of the year, and boom, now you have a child without any of the like painful societal obligations. It's like the child has gone to the bathroom and needs you to fix it for it. Why does it need that? Doesn't matter. You're the parent. You have to deal with that. It's like that doesn't sound fun. I don't like dealing with my own. When I go to the bathroom, I don't want to deal with that. Let alone an animals, you know, or hobbies, you know. Like that's not what fun is to me. That's not my definition of a good evening. That's even my definition of a bad time. Like I don't want to be doing that. I also have PTSD from babies, says Myra. So you're right, no one likes babies. Even people who like babies don't like babies. Have you tried fry sauce? That's what I use. Oh yeah, fry sauce. I'm convinced it's like, again, in the continental Europe, there's fry sauce everywhere, and I still am not even convinced it's not just mayonnaise in disguise. Like I would love to know what's in fry sauce, because I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Someone needs to tell me. But yeah, I love how Toy Cat calls children it. I mean, that's what they are. And until like, people are always like, "Oh, life begins at conception." It's like, when that baby pops out, it's not a human life. Like, do you think the baby is like, "Oh yeah, I have really important thoughts and feelings"? No. Until you can share your thoughts and feelings with me, you don't exist as a person. You know, like, okay, wait, here's a controversial one. You know people who are in lifelong comas, right? Their brain is dead, but their body's still there. That's not a human life, right? That is, if it's irreversible. Obviously, if it's like temporary. Like when I go to sleep, I would argue I'm temporarily barely a human. You know, I'm only a human on the promise that I will wake up from my sleep. If I am asleep for 50 years, was I really a human those 50 years? See, there's a thing to make you think, and then to get horribly offended because this is gonna be stomping on someone's toes with a dead relative or with a... Oh, go! Lord. Well, you know, probably should have watched out for that. I'm actually gonna like keeping this little pretend desert here. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave the half desert. So this will be the point where we stop digging on this side. It'll transition back into a desert, I guess. Yeah, like, I think that, like, you know what? When you're, like, 5, you're, like, so close to being a human, but still not quite. Like, you don't get to be, like, he, her, you're still an it to me. You're a thing. You exist in the world. Actually, not. Here's the interesting one. If you eliminate all people above the age of 1, right? If only babies are left in the world, do the babies survive? I think the answer is no. You don't get to be humans. Above the age of 2, I think some babies might, some 2-year-olds would survive because they know where to get food. You know, if you just, everyone vanishes from the world except people below the age of 2. You know, that's an interesting scenario. Do 3 and we're like, okay, some 3-year-olds are definitely surviving this. Not many though. I think when you get to the age where most of a population can survive, like, you know, when you've got like 5-year-olds that can like I think, you know, like 6-year-olds maybe. If you take away everyone in the world besides 6-year-olds, I think the 6-year-olds will rebuild society in a crazy broken way that, you know, like it's not gonna be a good society, but they will survive enough to make a new generation after that. Also, sleep is just being shy. Wait, sleep is just death being shy. You know, that's beautiful, Paul Coel. Also, fry sauce is mayo and ketchup mixed mostly. Sometimes people put barbecue sauce or steak sauce too. Kind of like a Thousand Island without egg or pickle. So you live in the United States of America. I can tell from your dollars. I'm just going to tell you my experience having, you know, been... like, whenever I go to again, like, I do a lot of McDonald's reviews around Europe. I don't know why that is. Who knows why I talk to myself and share my McDonald's experiences. It's one of the ways in which I'm barely a functional person. Anyway, so one of the things I've noticed is they always give you it's called frites sauce. You know, that's French or Dutch or I don't know. It's language of non-English descent for fry sauce, and it looks exactly like mayonnaise, and as best I can tell, it tastes exactly like mayonnaise. Like I think fry sauce. Wait one sec. Frites sauce. Frites sauce. Frites sauce is a Dutch complement to French fries. My bad, it's not French. It's similar to mayonnaise, but it's 25% fat, which is leaner and sweeter than mayonnaise. So I think, and I'm going to Google fry sauce just to see if that's also a thing or if you made it up. You know, Elisa, oh, fry sauce is actually ketchup and mayonnaise from Utah. If you're from Utah or a surrounding state, then you have reclaimed fry sauce to mean something different. Very Dutch. You know what? It sounds delicious when I'm hearing it like this. Honestly,
I enjoy your content. Have you considered a server tour mini-series for big names like 2B2T?
Oh, yeah, so, like, the big servers like that, especially the ones that have... So here's the thing about 2B2T, right? You have to, like, you can get on for free, but because there's such a big queue, you basically have to pay if you want to get on in any reasonable amount of time. And so the server community hates it when YouTubers come in and talk about the server. Because if I talk about 2BTT, someone's going to go and try to play the server, and then, you know, they can't get on because, ooh, now the paid you know, basically, they're like kind of toxic about, and like I kind of understand on some level, but like, you know, it's not like logical toxic where it's like, yeah, we'd rather you not do this. It's like they will attack you and your fan base in a way that I understand the sentiment. But it's like with any group, like someone tells you where a problem is, and someone's like, "Yeah, we should like, you know, bomb them, right?" And it's like, whoa, you're going too far. It's how it goes in real life. On the internet, it's like, yeah, do it. You're right. That's a good idea. Also, y'all should try it. It's pretty good, says Eliza. You know, Alyssa, I think it probably is. Alyssa. You know, Alyssa would be with an A though. You know, it's Elisa. Elisa. That's your name now. Lindsay, yes, I forgot how much regional variation there is across the US and Canada, because I'm American, I've never heard of fry sauce. If you don't live in the great state of Utah, I can't blame you for never having heard of fry sauce. Fry sauce is a wonderful thing. Fry sauce is what you get when you combine the delightful redness of ketchup with the delightful whiteness of mayonnaise. Some people say that flavor is more than just color, but here in Utah, we don't believe about that. I have nothing to say, but I really want to say something, says Mother Russia. Wow, I'm Welsh too. I've never heard it so succinctly. Fry sauce is considered French here. Yeah, right. Whenever I got it, it always seemed very French. I bet there is also a French fry sauce. Wait, frites sauce? I bet there's a French version. Wait. Okay, I'm gonna list of sauces. And then we're gonna go to France. Man, the fact that there's such a big Wikipedia list of just sauces here. Wait, is there any reason why I can't show you my Wikipedia page? I'm sure there's not. Okay, so, hello, is there maybe? Wait, you know, it's gonna be fine. So, I'm always like so terrified before hitting this button. Here is a list of sauces. This list is incomplete. You can help by adding missing items. We're not gonna do that. So we're gonna go to by country. We're gonna go to England, and I'm gonna tell you about English sauces. There's just one. Leicestershire sauce. Leicestershire sauce. Akin to catsup. Is that all we have? Okay. So there's sauce espagnole. Man, look at France's section and look at England's section. I'm gonna move you away, chat. I'm sorry. You're gone now. Also, thank you for the tip. If you see colors, there's a thing. So let's see if they have something they call fry sauce. I feel like they do. Bechamel sauce is French. I didn't know that. Bechamel? It's interesting. You're not white sauce. Yeah, white sauce is what I've heard it as. Sauce mayonnaise. Ah, I think we found it. No, that's just mayonnaise. Wait, mayonnaise is French? Huh, today we learned. German cuisine has Frankfurt green sauce and duck feta. And the Netherlands has frites sauce. You know what? Frites sauce is definitely French. You know what? You've been lied to. Wait, does Canada have sauces? Oh, Donair! Oh, this is the best. Okay, chat, let me tell you about Donair. It is a chain of restaurants that was established in Halifax by Greek... Hey, thank you, Alyssa Stubble. So much for the tip. Parents just want to be quirky. I've stopped correcting people for the most part because everyone just gets it wrong. I mean, Stubblefield is such an interesting second name. This is good stuff. If you need to go to Halifax, Nova Scotia, and you need to get yourself some cod. K-O-D. King of Donair. Anyway, let's slide back to Minecraft. I think we were doing that before. Did we play Minecraft on this channel, or did we just talk about sources? I'm a little lost here, chat. We need a third channel source review. I love sauces. Okay, here's the thing about fries. Fries are amazing by themselves. The moment you start getting into dipping fries in sauces, you can never go back. Your life is ruined. Now you are a dipper. You dip fries in sauces and you enjoy it. Damn it. And like having good sauces is the difference between especially okay. When I was living on not very much, the thing that made meals, made from the cheapest bread or whatever, the way you can make some boring food exciting is with sauce. Honestly, we like to pretend rich people have such amazing... No, food is all the same because sauce is what makes food amazing. We always pretend it's about the whole grainness of the beef or the free rangedness of the eggs or whatever, or the rareness of the butter. But it's really all about the sauce. Good sauce in correct ratios. That's what makes things amazing.
Toy cat tax. Weekday streams always hit me while I'm at work. Disappointed face.
Yeah, I always wish that I would stream on weekends more. It seems like the correct time to stream. But usually I'm weekends are when people in my life are free, and I try to I try not to ever be the person who's yeah, sorry, can't do real life social events because I'm busy, being a big deal on the internet or whatever nonsense that would be. I know, I feel like that's a useful line to draw in my life. And so recently though, social events. What are you living in? 20 insert year before now. I mean, wait, we're all living in 2020, am I right? Also, so by your reasoning, does a disabled person who never learns to communicate with words never become human? They can communicate with actions, right? See, this is where I was worried we get controversial. But a disabled person can if they are communicating some internal feeling, then that and they can write it down. Sure. Can they not write either? That's why we give them pendants. We give them those things that can track your eyeball movements. We have that as well. If you have the ability to express yourself in real communicative words, I think this probably gets offensive when you get to what about learning disabilities, Toy Cat, and then you can slam me home and prove that I'm really an ableist something or something. But I think that ignoring the weird edge cases like that, where I'm not going to argue with you, I think the overarching thing of yeah, you can have complex, you can add to the value of things in the world. You can contribute unique feelings or whatever. That's a level that we can get some monkeys to do. Right? Correct me if I'm wrong. My son is nonverbal. He uses sign language. Right, the sign language is a way of communication. That's how that works. That no one would ever be yeah, that's not real talking. Whereas a baby that's going go gaga, I want you to get me food and then maybe some drink, and then I'm still gonna cry in 5 minutes because I'm not actually gonna explain why. I'm just gonna hurt your ears, and I'm gonna make you regret being alive and in public. Honestly, one of the biggest, to me, this is the biggest societal problem. We can argue about maybe we've got other problems instead. No, this is the single biggest societal problem we face. Is screaming children in public is a huge externality, right? You bring a child into public, it screams. All those strangers are annoyed at you for something you haven't done, but at the same time, you kind of have done it to them, right? And so people reason their way around this, same with a plane, right? If you bring a crying child onto a plane, who's that on? Is that on you? Is that on the airline for letting you go on there? Or is that on everyone else for being annoyed by it? Because that's just what children do. Actually, you know what, chat? I obviously, like, the audience is probably slightly younger than the world average. And, you know, there's not going to be a lot of parents in the chat. Who do you think's responsibility a crying baby is? The babies, the parents, the businesses, or, like, society's problem for being annoyed at it? You know? Because obviously you can't blame the child. That's like, that's the one you can rule out the child immediately. Child doesn't know the situation it's in. Although actually, maybe we can't rule out the child. But like, if the child has got problems, in the same way, if a child commits murder, it's on the parents. Like, a 5-year-old can't be tried for murder. It's on the parents. The parents, society, the parents, totally the parents. It's our hobby. But like, you know, like, how do you make a child not cry? Like, is that something that you just should do if you're a good parent, or is it like outside your control sometimes? You know, like if the child is hungry and you don't have food, is that on you for not having food, or is that, you know, I personally, I'm on team that, right? I think like, yeah, actually, it is on you for not, you know, like you should know this child, and if it's like so unbearable that it can't go in public, but then it's like, actually, you can't tell a parent not to ever go in public because they've got a loud child. That's just isolating them, making them worse parents still, right? I can also, Toy Cat, Big Doll on the Internet Andrews. Thank you, James Bay, I missed your tip. Also, KOD is really good, not to flex, but I have had it. I missed your tip, Nerd Waffle. I missed so many tips. How'd I miss these? So by your, yeah, okay, and then we also got Pigwig. Thank you for the New Zealand $3. Again, abnormal tip. I like to see it. You know, it's not one of the standard amounts. You were like, nah, I'm going to be unique on this. But yeah, Brad Baker, I'm glad you could catch the stream also on a Saturday. That's what I was trying to get to. Parents should have brought duct tape. Yeah, I think when you're in a public space around other people, you should try your best. You shouldn't make some effort. You should try your best to make that not a big thing. But to me, that's like the biggest, like, again, call it an externality, call it whatever else you want to. That's one of the biggest, like, problems, you know, not to be too dramatic, but like, how do you deal with the fact that, like, parents can produce that, and you can't stop them from doing it. And so the ideal world is you could make a thing, like, I would love to see a little bubble you could make around you and your child. Only you should deal with your screaming child. Because we put, like, when we put, like, bubbles around just the child, that's seen as cruel, right? If your child is screaming, and you could put it in a little bubble so it could scream and you couldn't hear it, I think society would say that's cruel. I would disagree with society. I'm disagreeing with you right now. You're wrong. That's not cruel. That's just dealing with the problem. So I think put the parent in there as well, and boom. But there's no, like, easy way to do that besides, like, I don't know. We need, like, some magic technological solution to do that. We need some way that, like, people can't hear screaming children from other people. And as soon as that's in place, I'd be like, yeah, now I don't feel bad having a child in the world. Because this, you know, if I have a screaming child, that to me is my problem. But I'm saying that because I haven't had a child. I don't know the pain that it brings and how much worse your life gets and how you've got to tell people, oh, it's a delight. I love this so much. I love how instead of having, you know, like 6 free hours in a day, I have negative 6 free hours in a day. Do you know what that means? That means I don't sleep for 6 hours. It's so great. I love bringing a life into the world that's later going to hate me and everything that I do. No, that's not a thing. Also, headphones lol, says James Bay. But, like, how do you make sure that everyone has headphones, right? Mute people like that Black Mirror Christmas episode. Yeah, we need that, but for the real world. Although it'd be funny because you'd mute the child, and then you'd grow up and, like, randomly have someone muted and be like, I must have muted you as a child. You were the loud baby that ruined my flight home on my honeymoon. Or whatever particular event. But yeah, I think it's, what about all the complications that arise in prisons? Without all the complications that arise in prisons. Exactly, without all the complications. That should come as a granted. I've been sat in the middle of Princess Street with my disabled son screaming. I get all the judgy stares, don't care. See, right, like that. That's why I'm on the side of, like, we can't be entirely blaming, because, like, especially when it's like, yeah, that's not a. They're assuming, like, oh yeah, this is just a bad parent, and it's like, no, this is a you know, this is a child that needs more than normal. What do I do about this? What am I meant? Yeah, there's nothing, or if there is, it's very hard. You know, like this. I actually think that like children come in like different difficulty levels, but you don't get to choose which difficulty level you're having. This is why. Okay, hear me out here. And I know I'm saying eugenics. Also, yeah, I think everyone should have noise cancelling headphones on a flight. That'd be if you could. If the plane gave that out, for instance, boom, we've solved the crying baby on a plane problem. But how do you do that for other social contexts? Are we lagging? I don't think we're lagging. We're fine. Baby lives matter. Disagree. Baby lives don't matter. But I think that what we should do. Okay, hear me out here, chat. This is my terrible bordering on eugenics solution. I think that we shouldn't have children ourselves. Like, we're at a point in society where a messed up baby can ruin so many lives, and a well put together baby can help so many lives. You know? You ever think about the people who come out and fix your plumbing when it's too cold? Yeah, someone had to raise that child and tell them to, you know, do that. You know, don't follow your dreams, follow the money. You know, like, instead of giving the advice they wanted to give, they had to give real advice that would help that. You know, and then that person had to have a work ethic instilled into them. You know, like, they had to understand money. They had to understand helping people, even if they don't want to do it themselves. Like, people also do a Texan accent. It will make us happier. So the thing is, you need to raise a child correctly, and then that human being will add to society some great deal. Whereas if you think about how much damage a bad child can do to society, it tends to be a lot. So I think that what we should do is we should outsource the facilities of, hey, thank you, Alyssa Stubblefield. Wait, hey, thank you, Alyssa Stubblefield. Your name sure is quirky. I'm glad you know, some people's parents do all of that, and then some people's parents name their daughters Alyssa, but in a way that's so quirky, they have to explain to everyone they meet, no, it's Alyssa. It's just spelled Elisa because my parents are confusing. We shouldn't give humans mouth privileges till they're at least 7, then there'd be no screaming children. I'm just saying, pretty good idea coming from Porygon Q, starting to solve the child problem. You know what? Why aren't we all making this much effort? That's all I'm saying. Also, wasn't there a shulk? Okay, the shulk box is still there. I'm glad. I was worried for a second I lost it. So for all the sand in here, we're gonna go do another sand run later. But for now, let's stay focused. There are things that a disabled child can teach people about a regular child, like that a regular child can't, like empathy and resilience and appreciating the little things. Yeah, right. I think I think that, to go back to my point, there is when you have a child, let's say there's like difficulty level 1 through 10. Let's say difficulty level 10 is let's say difficulty level 1 is a child that's just really chill, goes along with everything, is like, yep, cool. You know, you leave it out for 3 days by accident. It's fine. It knows how to look after itself. It doesn't hold it against you. Boom. That's level 1. Level 5 child is like, oh yeah, he breaks his leg, or maybe, you know, he's born with a slight physical like issue, and like he's never gonna be the king of his football team, and so you have to console him over that and make sure he never feels inadequate. As well as, like, you know what, sometimes he throws. You know, sometimes he's just broken in ways that you can't describe. And then level 10 would be like, this is attitude problems. Actually not. Maybe it's offensive to. Yeah, I'm not gonna throw it on any. But like, you know, it's not the. It doesn't behave like a normal child does because of its different perception on the world, and like you just have to deal with that. You were expecting a level 1 child. Also, the lag is. Oh yeah, things are getting rough. I wonder why. Let me fix that. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, we lowered the stream quality a bit. You know, I'll just eat spring rolls while I wait. I'm gonna look up if they're really made from ketchup, sweet and sour sauce. Sweet and sour sauce is a generic term that encompasses many styles of sauce. Sweet and sour sauce, ketchup. Sweet and sour sauce is pineapple juice, brown sugar, and soy sauce. Honestly, if it is pineapple juice, brown sugar, and soy sauce, I can actually see sweet and sour. Apparently the red comes from red food coloring. I think you were lied to, Chantal. What's in your spring rolls? Says Andrew is my name. Hey, first of all, I love your name. Andrew is my name. I don't know why. It just speaks to me. And second of all, that sounds nothing like sweet and sour sauce here. I mean, mine tastes distinctly vinegary. I can believe it's ketchup and vinegar. Honestly, we should do a stream where we try to make our own terrible versions of sauce. Sweet and sour sauce, ketchup, vinegar, brown sugar. Yeah, this one includes a little bit of ketchup. Oh no, it's the majority ketchup, with some other things added. My first got sweet and sour sauce, and I wasn't disappointed. But, I think, to go back to the sauce conspiracy world. Actually, you know what, should I talk about parents? No, yeah, when you have a child, you get anywhere from a difficulty 1 to a difficulty 10. And if it's too hard, like, if you get given difficulty level 8, when you're expecting, like, you know, 5 or whatever. You know, when... Oh, we're still having lag? Oh, yeah, so the mincemeat samosas, #1. I do love samosas. Yes, cooking with Toy Cat, please. Yeah, the stream is just going in and out right now. In the meantime, let's just eat spring rolls. Attitude is schmattitude. Wait. Attitude is from puberty. You know, yeah, that's probably a wrong time to put it in there. Showery data.
I think I was level 15 or 20 on your scale.
I feel bad sometimes at, like, the bad. You know, like, this is the interesting thing about, like, parenthood is, like, if you don't feel bad about something you did as a child, I feel like, you know, you're not looking back objectively enough, or you had really bad parents. It's always possible to be both, actually. Lag is worse now, Toy Cat. Really, is it? Let me see. Watching Toy Cat, my cat drinking coffee from my Toy Cat mug. Thank you, Toy Cat as yes. Hey, thank you, V-Dub. I'm sorry about the lag. Yep, everything is broken. Hello, Internet. Are you there? I'm here. My name is Toy Cat, and I make Minecraft videos. And I talk about... I don't know what happened, but I'm lost. I think we're streaming. But you know what? It's all good. If we're not streaming, I'll talk to myself. So the other day, I was hey, 55 Stepney Production S. Thank you for becoming a channel member. Welcome to the Cool Cat Club. Also, thank you to Centaur66. What's 30% of 4.99? Because that's what you just got. 30% of 4.99 is 149.66, if I'm not mistaken. No, wait, 0.33. I'm so dumb. No, wait, yeah, 149.30. No, 149. You know, I'm not gonna do it. I can't do it. So I'm glad we're fine. You know, thank you for the pineapples in chat. They let me know that everything's okay. I'm level 2 because I just have ADHD and I don't like taking my meds. Honestly, a child not taking its meds is probably like more distressing than you can imagine. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm only dealing with like I had a partner once who like at one point they went really off of the deep end. They're like, yeah, I'm not taking any meds, and I was like, you should do that. They're like, oh, why are you telling me to do that? And it's like, you know, it's the real rough place. Like with friends, it's really easy. Spring rolls, it's still winter. SMH. High quality. Also, thank you, Kaylee Lehman. Yeah, whenever it lags, I have no idea. Like, people react to the lag, like, a little bit after it's finished, usually. And I'm like, oh, it was bad. Yeah, I, make a really big drained ocean monument project with all your sand. I've been considering draining I have been considering draining an entire ocean. It's, the idea keeps coming back to me. And I keep being like, no, don't drain the ocean. Then I'm like, ooh, but it'd be so fun. Like, imagine that pipe from, Store Saturday, but in a drained ocean. Ooh, wouldn't that look good? IBX Toy Lag. You know, IBX Toy Cat, more like IBX Toy Lag. Show them how it's done, boys. While you're doing mundane tasks, you should hold a mundane potion. That's a good idea, Piglin Brute. I'm glad you exist just for that. You get an ad for 5 seconds and everything changes. Yeah, I think me hitting the ad button fixed a lot of people's lag issues. I don't know how that makes sense. But like the stream was like coming in and out a bunch, and I figured if you get like a few seconds of buffer from watching an ad, it might work. And it seems to have worked. You know what? Wow. Toycat makes a couple dollars. Actually, I'd make a couple dollars if everyone here got an ad and like maybe only like a third of people do. Toycat makes 66 cents and also fixes his issues. Oh, what a dream. You got to use the sponges though. Yeah, it's gonna be exciting to finally use all the sponges because you have to segment the ocean first, and then from there you can use the sponges. But it's gonna be great. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be an experience unlike any other. But yeah, I think personally, you know, just in my opinion, I think that like I see so many children. I'm like, oh, glad I'm not raising with that. It's like the not taking your meds thing is like so stressful because if you love something or someone, like being a friend with someone and letting them make bad decisions is fine. Like that's what you do. But like, should you let people you love make decisions you know will harm them? You know, it's a really hard one to answer. Another one is like, should you let people you love do things you know will hurt your feeling of them or their feeling of you? You know. And it's like, you know, like, because, you know, the number one feeling you aspire to is like, it's, I mean, like a really good feeling to aspire to is like, you know, like freedom of choice or whatever. Like, do whatever you want and I'll be fine. And it's like, well, I mean, it's a nice sentiment, but there are definitely limits on that. And do you tell people about the limits, or do you just pretend there aren't limits till the limits are hit, and then you go, turns out there were limits all this time, and I was just being nice when I said there were no limits. Or, you know, are you a monster for having limits on your love? Should it be unconditional all the time, you know, towards a child? I don't think you should have to love a child unconditionally. Like, what's that all about? Who perpetuated that lie? Also, my friend's house burned down when he was young, and I told him he should have just subscribed to you. Am I a bad friend? First, I get taxed. You know what? You're a good friend, objectively speaking. He needs to laugh. He's just had a house fire. You know what'll make someone laugh? Jokes about their house fire. Thank you. You know what? I wish you were my friend. You know, I'll make you my honor. No, you know, actually, Kigs1020, you got 4 numbers after your name? That's too many. 4 numbers after your lame, or like, also salsa is a fruit salad. Is salsa really a fruit salad? I don't know if I buy into this nonsense. Salsa's actually a dance, thank you very much. Definitely no fruit salad. I'm getting flashbacks to the Ocean Monument. Man, those Ocean Monument streams were the reason that, like, if it weren't for those, I think I would have never become, like, I would have never started streaming like I do right now. Like, I used to think of it, like, those were literally just streams I did because I was like, I'm doing it anyway, let's just do it. You know, like, we'll live stream, we'll talk to people, etc. And then they not only, like, a few hundred, maybe 1,000 people, I don't know, like, but people showed up to watch in a way I didn't expect. But then when they were done, for whatever reason, at least one of them went, like, semi-viral, like, it got, like, 500,000 views or something. And a lot of people just enjoyed a 4-hour Minecraft video. Yeah, it's difficult. I've had friends go down bad paths, and I felt obliged to stop them, but at the end of the day, it's their choice to do whatever they want. Even if they harm themselves, you can only suggest. But, like, what if you do wield enough influence to stop them, you know? Because, like, in a friendship, you don't have enough power to stop someone, so it's like, yep, do what you want, and then we'll deal with the consequences later. But, like, you know, when you're the parent to a child, you do have enough power to stop the child doing something. It'll probably hurt their opinion of you, because they're like, I hate you, Mum. Why are you like this? I'll hate you, Dad. Why are you telling me that I can't do insert thing here? But you do have the power to, like, you know, you can do really draconian things to a child. And, you know, that they have to trust that you mean well with it, and they're not going to trust that you mean well with it. But that's the crazy thing. Long videos are comfy, says Techless with chat on. I'm glad you like him. I'm glad you like him. What some people don't regret about is how some people... What people don't talk about is how some people regret having children. I don't. I love my kids, but it's a real thing. Not everyone should and can parent. Yeah, that's what I was kind of getting at. Like, I think that, you know, the birthing process should be outsourced. Like, you know, someone else deals with that. So, like, you don't have this whole, like, mothering, blah, blah, blah. Or maybe we need that. I don't know for sure. But in my head, remove that whole thing, outsource the child creation process. And then, you know, like, kind of like that great documentary of the future, A Handmaid's Tale. I haven't watched it, but I hear it's delightful. Anyway, And then like there should be like a return period on a child. It's like, can you not do this? Well, you know what? You probably can't do the next 18 years either. Glad we stopped you now. Again, so many parents are like, I have to do this. So, societally speaking, if you give up a child, you'll be badmouthed so much. And again, back in the day, that probably worked. But now, there's so many parents who are parents who have obligation. They hate it. They don't want to do it anymore. You mean surrogacy, says Robin Brooks. I kind of mean surrogacy. I mean, what I want to say, again, this feels very eugenic. This is literally the definition. Is like, we should be like screening out as many negative traits in children as we can. Like, you know, because of my grandparents, because one of my grandparents is predisposed to heart disease, and one of them is predisposed to mental disease. You know, I based on looking at a lot of my family, a lot of them have it in like their own little way. I would love to be not predisposed to both those things, but like it's offensive to say that. Like, it's like again, people say it's like this terrible thing, but like, yeah, if we use it to try and eliminate a race of people, and we're like, oh yeah, they're inferior, yeah, that's bad. We should not be in favor of, you know, trying to get rid of a group of people based on that. But like, if there isn't it objectively superior not to have, you know, a higher chance susceptibility to depression than to have it? Isn't it objectively superior not to be? Because you know, here's the crazy thing. Okay, Toy Cat's dystopia, right? Might also watch The Bad Seed Sociopath Child. You know what? That child, who knows if he became a sociopath or was raised one, but sounds bad. I'm not going to watch the movie from 1956. It's a good recommendation, but I'm just going to be honest with you, not going to watch it. I don't, honestly, movies from the 50s, I hate watching old movies. Like, it's always a bad experience. It's like, you know, they just don't have the same ability to tell stories as we do now. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is, like, there are certain, you know, okay. You know how we're getting better at diseases every year? In the last year, we've gotten better at treating COVID, but like, we do that with every disease every year. We get better at treating cancer. We get better at all these sorts of things. You know, in Toy Cat's dystopia, my dystopian dream future, the way it works is, you know, we work out we don't look at anything but diseases, you know, like, or hereditary conditions, but we go, yeah, these things. Like, how many people a year die from heart disease? Do you know what it is? I had to look this up recently for a video. It's 17 million people every year that are dying because we don't look into this little thing and go, yeah, actually, we could get rid of that gene. Because it's like, oh, you want to do eugenics? Because again, eugenics has a really heavy race-based link, and like, you know, it's really bad in that way. So like, okay, yeah, let's be very clear. Nothing to do with that. We'll leave that to the thing. Exactly, utopian, not dystopian in the star. Do you know how many people die of all the cancers every year? It's in the millions. Do you know how people don't, you know, like, you know, the thing that we reset society for, the thing we destroyed so much of the things we have built over the last 100 years or so. Do you know how many people died from the disease of this last year? 2.25 million. And I'm not trying to downplay that number. That's 2.25 million families that have lost a member. That's a lot of death. But what I'm trying to say is, like, imagine if we could just do a little bit of editing. I wouldn't exist if we filtered out heart diseases. No, you would exist without heart disease if we filtered out heart diseases. Wouldn't you love it if you would, like, oh yeah, I'm me, but also I'm not gonna have this, you know? And there is maybe an existential element of like, well, if I didn't have heart disease, I wouldn't be the person I am today. And it's like, no one is improved by heart disease. No one's like, you know, like, oh yeah, this makes me so much stronger. People are gonna die of something though. We couldn't just make people immortal. Oh yeah, we're gonna like when we hit 90, 100, people just start to die because we can't prolong your organs that long. That's like, if we want to extend life expectancy, that's where the effort really needs to be made. In my opinion, I'm not gonna pretend I'm the top scientist on this issue, but when, like, we have the solution to all these things. What would I have to complain about if not my diseased heart? You know what? You're right. You wouldn't exist. You'd be a lot less complainy, and therefore you wouldn't be called. That you wouldn't be the same Chantal. You're right. That's how the COVID vaccine sort of works. It's just like, you know, if we could just like edit a tiny bit, we could just take those few things out, we would stop so many of the causes of death every single year, preventable causes. There's a lot of accidents that kill people, etc., etc. I just think I think that not only did 17. Okay, here's even crazier, right? So like, you know, 17 million people dying. Oh, you know what? I don't get out of bed for that few people dying. Okay, sure. You know that it's not a number that matters to you. That's a-okay. You have that opinion, you. But how about this, right? How about that 17 million every year for the next 100 years? That is that's 1.7 billion people who'll be born in the next 100 years. Assuming that we don't have population growth every year, which we famously do. If we keep inventing treatments every year that can lower the death rate by the same rate we have population growth, which is a huge ask, but like assuming we can do that, which again we can't. That's 1.7 billion people. We're birthing into a world where they will die prematurely because I would hate to mess with that because, you know, it's kind of eugenicsy. And it's like, oh man, that sucks. That's pain. You know, we spend millions on like road junctions to avoid car accidents in Europe, at least. I feel like in America, when someone dies in a car accident, it's like, you know, what could we have done? Nothing. Oh, they were texting and driving. You know, that's just what you do. I mean, if you can't text when you drive, then what's the point of living? Am I right? But you know, like a part of me is like, a part of me wants to be like, at least. You know, I want to be like, you know what, maybe we should just accept all causes of death and be like that. But we do make effort. We do spend money. We do, you know, we shut down a significant portion of a lot of people's lives. You know, not everyone's life. We did it very unequally and unfairly, maybe we could say. But we shut down a significant part of the world, even, to avoid, you know, to save a few million here. And it's like, well, if we care about it that much, if we're gonna be big fans in this way, I don't know where I am. I don't know how I always lose this desert. Like I fly here so often. Okay, it's just over there. Can we also filter out learning disabilities while we're at it? Because that would make my life a lot easier. Haha, says Leanne. See, okay, this is actually where we get controversial now. Because everyone could agree heart disease being gone would be good. Eugenics would work if 100% voluntary. Genetic screen tests for diseases and device against children. But the problem with that is then you'd have an underclass of people born with their diseases that would be not their fault but their parents. Okay, wait. Here's the thing, right? Imagine if you have a child and you know, like the child has some like really easily preventable illness. He's gonna die age 5 because of this thing, and it's gonna cost millions to even keep him alive. Like, should the government healthcare system, which is, you know, it's the trend the world's going towards, even if not all countries right now, like, you know, very few countries privatize the government healthcare, whereas more and more countries start to nationalize their healthcare. Whatever. So it's the government's problem, which means it's not. There's no magical government. The government is all of us. Should you spend millions on a child that someone chose to have when they knew it would die, to keep that child alive slightly longer? That's on it. This is where it gets like real. Oh yeah, this is uncomfortable territory. This is where people go, ooh, maybe that is a bad idea. Like Leanne said, she would wish not to be born with learning difficulty. I think she's talking about. I was getting mixed up. It's the one with the words and the color, not the colors. Can you say what it is? I'm having a blank. It makes you quirky. Because you not. Wait, I'll get it. I'll work it out. It's I'll find. You know, I'm gonna Google it. Makes you quirky. Dyslexia. There we go. Dyslexia. Thank you, Frosty Brandon. So Someone's gonna find offense at that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. Unless you think that's an accurate definition, in which case I definitely meant that. Autism. Let's see, I'd say autism and dyslexia are the two most common, like, again, calling them even diseases or illnesses is like, ooh, maybe that's not okay. But like, they're like affections of the mind that make you slightly different to other people. I would argue there is actually increased creativity. Kat was saying earlier that, by having children with autism, they're like, or like non-verbal children, like something about that has taught us so much about how we communicate non-verbally, etc. Actually, she didn't say that. I'm adding that into myself. How does dyslexia make someone quirky? I mean, is Leanne not a quirky person? Are we saying that's not her dyslexia doing that? I've never known a dyslexic who wasn't slightly quirky. I'm just saying. It's just I'm not saying that it makes them. I bet if I googled does dyslexia make you quirky, Google will say yes. I have dyslexia and I appreciate it. See, right? Some people like Leanne doesn't like it. Some people do like it. Some people I think having some autists in the world, some dyslexics in the world, is probably painful for them, but better for society as a whole. You're describing the movie Gattaca from 1997. Oh, I watched Gattaca only because of the. I think it's made by the Star Wars guy, right? Also, I loved Gattaca. I thought that was such a compelling, interesting idea. Like the again, like if I ever make a science fiction anything, I want to. This is an idea I could spend years diving into, because if you have a society where people can like screen out and make themselves better people, because once you screen out diseases, physically speaking, why wouldn't you also screen out once you've screened out the diseases, why not also screen so they're like top 1% physically, like try and screen out the slightly weaker than average kids, etc. And by doing that you push up the average, and you mean anyone that can't get that screening is going to have garbage tier children. It's like how imagine if height was the only thing that determined how tall a child was. The Dutch have been like naturally, by accidental selection, naturally breeding their people taller for the last dumb number of years. There's a movie about this called Gattaca. I've been describing Gattaca. I'm sorry. It's a good movie. I recommend it. I have to Google so many words while typing because YouTube doesn't have auto spelling. See, right? Like some people love it, some people hate it, and then how do you deal with that? Like to Elias Lawson, the autism is a part of his personality. You can't remove that. There are some negative parts of my personality that probably make me better. That make me interesting to you. If I was entirely okay as a person, you wouldn't find me interesting to watch. There's something about my fault. I would argue the ways in which I'm broken are probably more interesting than the ways in which I'm not. I wish it wasn't that way. I wish people loved me for the amazing, for the best things that I did. But I think that the worst bits about you are usually more interesting than the best bits about you. Like, oh, did you know? I'm the fastest person to speedrun Minecraft Bedrock on peaceful without glitches. If you count the Nether roof thing as a glitch, and even if you don't count that as a glitch for whatever reason, then did you know I'm the fastest on console? Yeah, I did a really cool thing. No, I guess actually that's arguably like a weakness that like I'm dumb enough to spend 15 hours playing peaceful just to get like the two weirdest things under my belt. Also, I hope you don't mind, I flooded your torch biome, says Action Animations. You're breaking my heart here, Atchison. Also, how long have you been subscribed, Principe Victor? There's a site I linked in, it was a Q&A Saturday a while ago. You can Google how long have I been subscribed to a site, and I think it will come up. If I didn't have ADHD, I wouldn't currently be reading that Wikipedia source page while moderating and watching stream at the same time. How does that enhance my life? But like having the ability, the want to do multiple things at a time probably makes you not only understand other people with the same problem, but also helps you understand like a part of the human condition that everyone has of like, yeah, just because you're being entertained, or maybe you're not being entertained. Let's not overassume what this stream is doing for you. But just because you're being satiated by one thing doesn't mean you don't want more. Like you needing to have more. You just doing it by default. Reading that Wikipedia page on sources. That is something that will make you more receptive to other people's needs in some way. Again, like I think being broken, it's like okay, so a physical example of this. People in wheelchairs need curb cuts, right? You know those, curbs are usually like this, like, you know, like this, and a curb cut's like this. It just rolls down, rolls off. And even though those are like most useful for people with disabilities, they're great for people riding bikes. You know, they're nice for people who are blind probably too, I imagine. Like you can do things for broken people that everyone appreciates. Like, I think that's what we should always aim for. I think like every, you know, like I think that should be like a key form of promotion we do. I scan over chat because I cannot keep up with this many people, says Leanne. Yeah, it's been the streams have grown a lot since you became a model those years ago, huh? You calling me out for not believing in the Never Roof method? Oh, I don't believe in the Never Roof method personally. I think that them calling that not a glitch is a mistake. I think that is patently... I think that Minecraft Bedrock needs to change, but they haven't changed, and under the current set of circumstances, that is clearly a glitch, James Bay. Like, I'm calling out the Minecraft Bedrock speedrunning world. Like, I don't want to actually do that publicly, because, like, I've got better taste than that, I want to believe, at least. But, I don't know, it's an interesting thing anyway. That's called universal design, says Crumble Lord. Right, yeah, universal design. I heard on a TikTok today, people with ADHD are more quickly to notice something wrong, like an attack. But also there's a TikTok, so who knows. Yeah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that in the slightest. I feel wrong. I think being always alert, I don't think it's ADHD. Like, there are some people who are more receptive to random sudden things than others. I wouldn't imagine that's a thing here. That's in the UK too. I live in the UK, that's where I was talking about. Fun fact. But yeah, that's how they design curbs now. So they're like, yeah, this helps so many different people, and who does it even hurt? Like, it doesn't actually hurt anyone, does it? I'm gonna eat another spring roll, if you don't mind. Ha, I remember when chat was manageable. Imagine if the stream doubles in terms of average viewers or average chatters or whatever metric. I wonder how you... a lot of people say the sweet spot in terms of chat is between like 1,000 and, you know, like 1,500 viewers. Actually, I heard one person say this, and like it backed up what I already believed, so I was like, yeah, this is smart. I'm gonna keep believing this. There's confirmation bias and all that. But I've always wondered for a while, like, what happens when I get to the stage where the regular chat is so fast I can't read? You know, like right now I can't read all of it, but I can scan and go over so much of it, you know? What happens when I can't? You know? Do we deliberately try and like get fewer people in chat? That seems dumb. I don't want to ever be that person. Or do we work out instead like do you prefer spring rolls or only plants or the ones with shrimp? Or are they different in the UK? To me, you know, the ones with only plants in a spring roll taste like nothing. It's not very good. My favorite spring rolls I've ever had weren't spring rolls, they were donair. Again, it was that thing from Halifax, Nova Scotia. Amazing. That, but in like I think they called it an egg roll, but it was made from whatever. It was amazing. It was like killer. You can watch a video. Wait, let's all watch a video of Toy Cat enjoying food. No, I'm not gonna do that. But you can find it on my third channel or maybe the second. I don't know where it was. It's some. Oh no, it's in my 36 hours in Canada video. I think I'm a little bit drunk as it comes up. That's what the top chat is for, right? I don't think the top chat even drowns out most of chat. Actually, wait, let's see what live chat looks like minus top chat. Is there more live chat? Okay, so the top chat is definitely a lie as far as I can tell. I think they want to... I would love to see a top chat that just showed, like, the best 10% of messages. I don't know how you would prove the best 10% of messages. But, like, I'm going to be honest with you. Hill Ho, you know, your message isn't too bad. Okay, GT Person 312 says, yo. I don't need to see that. No offense. Yo, though. Hello. You know, like, then Mellow14 says, hi. You know what? I don't think I can do much of hi. It's nice to say hello to you. But, at the same time, I might want to read the whole, like, how do you keep up with your world, Toy Cat? Ask Skate 8. I might have something interesting to say in response to that. It's really hard to work out, like, how do you find just the best messages that will be useful to me? I think the best fit, like, you know, the really high-end streamers just get someone to do that all day for them, like, find the best chats. I wish I could star the best messages for you to read. Sometimes you miss a 10 out of 10. Yeah, I love when you re-say a message, because it's like, yeah, I would have missed this otherwise. This was a good chat message. I would love to see starred messages, like just the best ones. There should be like a voting system, and then like chat can collectively decide what to do with that. And then like if you're really desperate for your message, then that's where the whole tipping thing comes in. Also, you know, like I think that like vaguely is how it works now, but with way more randomness. Like instead of the best messages getting through, it's whichever messages I happen to read at a given moment. And I feel bad because I'll miss some things. Like, you know what, Veta Shep, I bet you said something interesting today. You might not have. You might have said nothing but vapid comments, but I'm assuming you said something interesting and I missed them. I'm sorry. Colored crayons are bad, only the gold ones, says Sophie S. You know what, I could have done with missing that. I read that message from Sophie S, and I didn't read any of yours. And isn't that terrible? Yeah, almost forgot the Toy Cat tax. Hey, thank you, Atchinson Animations. As we all know, the Toy Cat tax is the most important tax, because if you don't pay it, nothing happens. And that's what makes it more interesting to pay it. But yeah, so like, if I know we're describing Gattaca here, but if you could breed out all the, you know, if you could, you know, like have people be born without, you know, the things like the, you know, again, things that aren't necessarily bad, like the dyslexia and the autism, things that are part of what makes someone who they almost are as a person. If you could choose to breed those out, would you then feel more bad for the people that have something wrong? I don't know. It's also, you know, like this is a Deus Ex problem as well as a Gattaca problem. But like, if we have this service and it works like the rest of the world, i.e. a free market economy where like you can choose to do it or you can choose not to, then that leaves behind, you know, it means that a wealth gap becomes a, because right now, you know, a lot of people don't believe it, but at the very least, the way we should aspire to make the world work is that, like, you know, like, wealth slowly fades over time. If you make dumb decisions with your money, the money will go away very quickly. You know, a fool and his money are soon parted, is a saying. And like, if you have the right entrepreneurial idea, you have easy access to capital in today's world. Like, banks will give you money at pretty reasonable interest rates, and you can make your idea into a thing.
I'm IQ 150, left-handed, ADHD, and had SAD for 20 years. It has made it hard to have friends, jobs, and some days, just to survive. But I figured out a logical argument for the utility of religion.
See, with that set of wording, I feel like you're not a religious person. Also, I'm not saying this is a slight against you, but like whenever I hear like IQ on the internet, I'm always like, like, one of my long-term internet friends was like, oh yeah, I did an IQ test, 140, you know? And I realized that like, I wonder what the, you know, it feels like there's just like, even though it's like it's entirely possible it's true, there's a certain desire, like especially amongst people who like feel like they're more intelligent than the pack. There's a certain desire to like recognize that. But I'm focusing on the wrong bit here. You're saying that you're, you know, like you think that that's you think that you've got like you're a very different human being in a lot of ways that might be considered good, but being a member of society is harder as a result. And therefore maybe you regret it in some ways. Religion has utility other than keeping the masses generally morally ambiguous. I think it keeps the masses like morally in line, right? Like, if you spend a lot of time thinking about, if you spend like, imagine that a religion is fake. Obviously, I don't believe that your religion is fake. Your religion is true. Imagine that other religions are fake, if you're religious, that is. If you're not religious, all religions can be fake, sure. But, if you spend, like, hours and hours and hours thinking about morality and the best system, you'll probably come to some conclusion that, like, yeah, it's probably best if we don't cheat on our partners. It's probably best if we don't, you know, like, do bad things to each other. But in the moment, it's very tempting to do those things. Again, we have monkey brains moment to moment, but we have the ability to have these like deep, complex thoughts between those moments. You know, like more often. And if you need to help other people not use their monkey brain in the moment, you need to use their monkey brain to get them to do the more complex human brain thing. Or to put it this way, you need to use their, you know, like caveman brain to get them to do like man in a suit brain things rather than doing caveman stuff. So an example of this is like, okay, we should not sleep with other people. You know, you should not, if you have a wife, the concept of marriage even is something that comes from this. But like, let's imagine there's a concept of marriage outside of it. You should not sleep with other people besides your thing, because that's a form of deception. It's gonna hurt both you and them, and like, it's not good for society as a whole, because you're also taking two women out of the dating pool, which is gonna like mess with a lot. Basically, like, and vice versa. If don't cheat on your husband because you're gonna take two guys out of the dating pool, and it's gonna mess things up a little bit in a way. So how do you make that problem better? You tell people they're gonna burn eternally if they do, and then you give them a really good reason to believe it if they look into it. Like, oh yeah, just read this book. Trust me, people burn eternally forever. Not like for a little bit, lots of pain, and they're like, wow, I don't want that. I'm gonna not do bad things. That's an objective utility of religion. Here's some Toget tax since it's been a while. Hey, good to see you, Barnacle Jake. Or is it good to see your money? And I'm really a filthy streamer who is here just to rinse you for your worth and time. I don't know for sure. You know, what is the streamer social contract? I don't know precisely. What I do know though is this is a speedrun, so luck and perfect. Toycat is yes, Real Dog is no. Thank you, Huddle Pie. Don't know all of those words that you said, but I agree with some of them anyway. But yeah, if there was no God, it would be necessary to invent him, Voltaire. See, that's an interesting one, right? Like if you live in a system where the God has already been invented, of course you're going to see all the negatives that have been done as a result. But imagine a system where there is no deity, people just do whatever they want all the time, based on the moment-to-moment decisions. And you can imagine that very quickly there's a lot of places that gets worse. Like, I agree with Voltaire on that one. I agree that, like, you need to invent some magic. Again, unless you can have everyone be so educated that they spend a lot of time considering this themselves, coming up with their own morality system. And even then, like, if everyone has their own morality system and they differ, because I don't think they would differ, but if they do differ, you know, because a lot of people do have slightly different morals, then you get a really tricky situation. So having the man in the sky that burns you all, having the man in the sky that burns you all is a pretty good idea. But even beyond that, because I'm being pretty cynical about religion when I say that, I don't think that it actually is all about. I don't think it's all just a. I think religion is not just the stick. I think religion is also a carrot. Like we do better as humans when we make social bonds. It's not clear in the moment that social bonds are good though. Like having okay, here's an interesting one. You know, the reason people enjoy being parents. Some people don't, I agree, but most people seem to be on board with it at least. Even though from the outside in it seems objectively terrible. Like who's getting anything from this? And something about responsibility does make, you know, humans do enjoy responsibility. You don't enjoy it in the same way that you enjoy an ice cream. Oh, I'm gonna eat some ice cream off this. It's gonna be great. You don't enjoy responsibility the same way you enjoy an ice cream. Sure. Hey Toycat, what's your favorite kind of bug? Personally, I like the praying mantises because they're like little green humans. Praying mantises creep me out. I am not a fan. I am not a fan. But if you're thinking about like if you think about the whole like there's lots of things that it's really hard to do because your moment-to-moment brain is not lining up with your complex brain, and that's sometimes some good things. Like Marx said, religion is the people's opium. Yeah, I agree with Marx on this one. He's got a really good point here. That like, you know what, it's a tool that allows you to feel good moment to moment by using this existential fear against you, or maybe not even existential fear, just like this feels good, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Like if you speak to like Christians especially, like we're talking about a world that's predominantly Christian. If you other religions use slightly different balances. Also, thank you Joshua Delaney for the £5 tip. I appreciate the custom. Did you say that? I don't know if you can say that. I'm gonna say it anyway. You know, my there are things that we know to be good, but we don't do to ourselves anyway. Because like I don't know. I can't even explain it. It's dumb. There are so many, like, exercise makes me feel so much better when I've done it. I don't do it. Doing dumb like chores, I feel like, I don't know, there's certain things like you know, those light bulbs. I spent a month doing something that should have taken days. And I'd have had this light bulb moment so much earlier. What I'm trying to say here is that we don't always do things. And so I think there are certain benefits. Again, if you imagine religion as not being true, which of course, if you have a religion, your religion is the one true religion, and there's no other ones like it. But if you imagine it not to be true, inventing it would be a smart way to make people do good things to themselves. You know, like there are sometimes like minor versions of this, let's say. If someone says to you, oh yeah, a really good way to lose weight is to only eat 8 hours in the day. This is called intermittent fasting, I want to say, is what it's called. You tell people a lie. You talk about starvation mode. You talk about ketosis, and you say a lot of words, right? I'm not going to say all those things are lies, but like you extend a truth. There's always some truth behind a lie, because a lie that's a full lie is easy to point out. So a lie with some truth to it is much grittier, you know, much harder to disprove. Like, do Endermen spawn more in deserts? No, but you see them more, so you might find more Endermen in deserts, and you know, like to give a Minecraft example. But like there are lots of there's lots of like small little things like that where like someone tells you a thing is true, and that causes you to do other things that are good for you. Because of that thing that you think is true, you know, like knowing that like if you consume a certain, if you burn more calories than you consume in a day, you will lose weight. That's almost a universal truth. There are very, 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 very few conditions where that's somehow not true. But like that's hard. That involves a lot of your own steps. Whereas instead just being like, oh yeah, so there's these magic gnomes or something. I don't know. Also, I haven't put up the blue box with sandstone yet. We need to do that. Sandstone, 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 sandstone. Nice. And now we just fill up my inventory after taking this, and then we go. I find it funny how I don't even care to watch someone dig sand, and yeah, I put this on the background. Frankly, with such a silly name, this talky content is such a pleasant subscribe. Hey, that's a surprise. Hey, thank you. I'm glad you like it. Bullwat8. I think there's an interesting example, right? Like, if I just named the stream talking about the philosophy of eugenics for 2 hours, there would be fewer people that showed up. But a lot of people who showed up because the title is dumb and they're like, oh, let's watch this dumb video, then stick around and enjoy that. That's me in a way. You know, clickbait is a lie. This title is correct, but it's a certain version of the truth. Again, we're stretching the truth a bit, like the Chinese man and his delivery, and like the like all these various things. You know, like instead of telling a lie, you move the truth a little bit, and then more people will do a thing that hopefully is good. Maybe you enjoy this conversation a lot. Maybe I'm putting too much value on the thing of my own content. Maybe in reality, like you watch this and you're like, ah, that's cool, and then that's it. If you talk about eugenics, people would click faster. I don't know about the other people. I think you'd find a core audience of people who already knew they wanted to watch it. But to find people who don't know they want to watch it, they're just like, you know what, I'll give this a try. You gotta find the right time. You know, it's crazy. I do the same streams sometimes like 5 days in a week, and I'll play around with the titles each day and the thumbnails to see like what affects people. And like, yeah, when you don't name it something about Minecraft, people are like, oh, you have to like think about whether you want to watch it. Whereas like everyone knows they want to watch Minecraft for whatever reason. You know, it's a hot game on YouTube. It's very interesting. Even that, like, again, like the things that you do for yourself, to yourself, whatever else, are not always the things that are best for you. And that's a whole minefield of issue. That's fair enough. That's how I found this channel, says exceptional user. See, right? Like, that's where a lot of people found it from. Does that make it an okay thing to do? And then, you know, like it, or is it still a terrible form of lie? I mean, I wouldn't call it a lie, but you know, maybe we should. Maybe we should just be honest about the thing. You can make so many desert wells with this much sandstone. Says a bit damn. Oh, you better believe I'm gonna make all the desert wells. There's gonna be no space left in the land. Chinese people aren't bad. The Chinese government is the real big bad problem in the world right now, says Sophie S. Yeah, I think anyone trying to pin the problems of a government onto the people is like kind of dumb. But also probably kind of powerful, right? Like, the Chinese government doesn't care if you hate the government, but if you hate, again, like, see here, this is the same thing. This is how I believe people play the games on the higher levels, by making you hate, you know, not that I don't think I don't think anyone's governments right now wants you to hate the Chinese as a whole, but if you do convince people to dislike Chinese stuff, they're gonna stop buying Chinese-made products. That helps your country out, at least in some way. You know, because now people are buying stuff from everywhere, and your reliance on China goes down because your people don't want the stuff. You know, like, it also it hurts their diplomacy overseas, because, like, ooh, now they've got a negative reputation. Like, having a good reputation as a country is such a big part of being an effective country, and, like, destroying... By saying lies, you can destroy a country's reputation to help whatever goal you have. Like, lies often advance some big cause. And, like, ideally, you know, like, using lies to advance good things is, like, a hard thing to do, especially because what is good things? But there are people every single day using lies to advance bad things. Or, again, no, it's never lies. It's always very stretched truths. It's always very, very extreme versions of what is factual. But, yeah, I mean, maybe that's part of why it works so well. IBX Toycat, do you think there'll be any surprise additions this cave update? Surprise in the sense we don't know about them yet. So, yeah, sure. Surprise in the sense that, like, we won't know about them till just before it comes out? Probably not. I said I don't like sweet and sour, but I have been eating it pretty consistently. Again, once you go back to, welcome back to Toycat plays a 10-year-old cube block game and talks about politics. I don't think lying's about politics. I think it's like a wider thing we do in the world at large that just accidentally has some political links to it, perhaps. Anyway, I need to go put this stuff in a chest. See, one of the things I've started doing in these streams is I leave the stream running while I do the little post-organization. Do you like that, chat? Do you like that you get, like, 3 minutes more of me, but in exchange, those 3 minutes, now I really want some spring rolls. This video was brought to you by spring rolls. You considered, you know, build it beautiful, build it big, spring rolls. Oh god, this is terrible. I don't know why I'm taking this staircase. This is not, oh god, this is the worst. But, yes. You know what? Thank you. I'm glad you like it. That means a lot to me. More Toycat time. I mean, we watched a chest organizing stream. You're right, you did watch a whole stream just for chest organization. That, you know, that's on you, chat. I can't take responsibility for that. That's entirely on you. Hate to say it, but it is. Thanks, Panda Express. Oh, I love Panda Express in America so much. Like, it's not, I wouldn't say it's Chinese food, but, like, it doesn't mean it's not good. Oh, love Panda Express. So I'm going to throw all the sandstone in there. Also some sand, but let's try not to focus on that too much. We'll put the sand chest in there. Oh, I have another sand chest. Perfect. We'll make this corner the little clay corner. Oh god, things are a mess. We'll probably take the stone. Actually, you know what? What if I just leave the stone with me? Because I need to, like, wait, do I have a whole shulker box full of stone? I do. So I'll take that shulker box. I'll fill it with stone. And I'll take that stuff with me. So I'll just put the gravel away for now. I need to make a second gravel chest, like, over there or something. I just haven't done it yet. Should I do it now, actually? You know what? See, look at me. Making the adult decisions. Actually, I think I might need more than another half chest, because this is a lot of gravel. Oh, no, it's not. I'm good. So let's go make a chest. Bum ba bum ba bum 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 ba bum ba bum 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 ba bum ba bum bum ba bum. I'll take these, and I'll combine them together. See, this is a mixed race chest right here, made from 2 different types of wood. It doesn't look like it is, but it is. I can't wait till we get colored chests. I mean, I actually can wait, and I in fact will wait. But it's gonna be cool, huh? It's gonna be real cool. Now we can finally take all this gravel out and put it in the gravel chest. Boom. This is the first time I've done that. I put a little secondary chest in there. Don't know if I'll regret that one day. I don't regret it today, though. Also, thank you so much for the tip. Joshua Delancey, but also Magic Monkey 707. Opinion on the Bedrock character creator. It's clearly testing the water for things to come later. I'm convinced so many things that companies do are like, just so they can be like, well, we already did something like this and you didn't hate it then, so you can't hate it now. That big bit dug out near your cape house, I turned into a mini never. I love seeing the things people. Also, Will Chin, thank you so much for becoming a channel member, number 663. We're getting close to 666, huh? Looking forward to, thank you for joining the Toy Cat cult. So yeah, tomorrow what we're going to be doing is taking the stone and this stone and finishing that tunnel, and then we'll go back and we'll finish the mining of all the shulker boxes. Oh wait, someone said, okay, I don't know if this is just the old version or if it works in this current one too. Do you want me, let me show you something amazing, chat. Let me show you something amazing. I would have never found out about this if I didn't put the world download out on the marketplace. Because someone downloaded the world and they were looking around and they're like, oh yeah, you have these stables over here. And what they found, I thought this was pretty shocking, is I have a donkey over here, I think. Are you a donkey? Yeah, there we go. We got some mules. And one of these mules right here has a chest in it, right? And there's 15 empty shulker boxes. Oh, one of those has an elytra in too. But I've got 15 shulker boxes. Oh, one of them's filled with netherrack. I've got a mule filled with shulker boxes that I forgot about. I put them in there for a project in 2018 maybe. And yeah, so someone found shulker boxes for me. And I think that was nice of them. I'm gonna take this out as well as probably this one too. Oh, this is stuff that I got from the... Okay, I have to be careful of this. I have to keep this separate. I'm gonna go do some elytra organization maybe perhaps. But yeah, that was one of the reasons I'm glad someone has a version of this. I remember the video that was for. Like, I remember doing it, but I thought it was a temporary version or like... I don't know. But I lost 15 shulker boxes. And because of the internet, we found them again. And that's beautiful. And yeah, just remember, sometimes there's lots of accidental benefits to things. And sometimes those accidental benefits are intentional. And sometimes they're purely accidental, but... Maybe it's nice to believe there are things put there for a reason. Maybe believing the world is deterministically perfectly created makes you feel better. I don't know for sure. All I know is Atchison Animation extended the stairs and they spawn over the lava pit. And I also know that I'm going to go eat some Chinese food because that will make me feel good. And I hope that you feel good right now. And if you don't feel good, then there's no helping you. You're going to feel terrible forever. Get used to it. Okay, thank you for watching. That's the message of the day. If you don't feel good right now, you'll never feel good again. That's how it works. Famously, everyone who gets sad once, or depressed, or anxious, they never feel better ever again. So just get used to it. That's good life advice with Toy Cat. Thank you so much for watching. I had a good time. Thank you for making it as good as it was. Unless you made it worse. In which case, nah. Goodbye.